Hi, I'm Chef Jaden Dunn, former military caterer, now private chef in the Cotswolds, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a beautiful breakfast dish. Right, let's get to it. Turkish eggs. So first I'm going to be making the yoghurt base. So it's really simple. So I've got about 150 grams of yoghurt, good bunch of dill, clove of garlic and a little bit of ginger. And that's just going to form the base just to make it really creamy and moreish. So first thing, just a clove of garlic. Just going to get that through microplaner. These are really good. As you can see, it just gets it really fine. Saves on all of the chopping up. And then that can just go into the yogurt. And then we don't need all of this ginger, just about 2 to 3 grams. And that's just going to bring a little bit of warmth and some bitterness into that yogurt. And that can go in as well. And then just a touch of dill. So dill's such a great herb, you know, it's really good for the stomach. It's got a beautiful flavour. It's not really used a lot anymore unless, you know, you're having a good old fish and chips. But it just brings something to this dish that I can't explain. Just the real good freshness. And that is the base of the dish. It's as simple as that. I'm just going to give that a really good mix. And that can just sit to one side as we bring the rest of the dish together. Now this is my interpretation of the butter. So essentially what we have is some hot oil in here. Just a little bit of hot oil, and top that up just a little bit. Now the recipe normally doesn't call for any onion, but I like to add a bit of onion because it adds a little bit of sweetness into the dish. Just about a quarter of that. So it doesn't have to be too fine. If you want it finer you can, but just after a little bit of texture in the dish. And we're just going to sweat these down nice and slowly for about 2 to 3 minutes just to take the rawness off it. And then we're going to add in a couple of spices and a little bit of garlic. So that's just going to go in there. And I'm just going to get that back on the stove just to get cooking. Boiling water on the go, we're just going to add a touch of white wine vinegar. White wine vinegar just helps hold the egg together. You want that just at a rolling simmer, you don't want it boiling away so it'll just destroy the eggs. I'm just going to take the rawness off of those. And I'm just going to add a touch of pepper. I don't really add any salt, I add the salt always at the end. And that's cooking nice down, lovely now. I'm just going to get a bit of colour on those. And then in our spiced butter, we're just going to take a little bit of ginger. Going back for the microplaner, just making our life a lot easier. It's literally about a thumb-sized piece of ginger there, just grated. And then that is just going to go in with our onions and just cook the rawness of that ginger off now. Just going to get that through. And this is just going to add a little bit of warmth to that butter. And then that can just go back in there. And you can already start to smell the spices and the garlic and the ginger just waking up now. So here we have Aleppo pepper, and it is, as you can see, beautiful and red, extremely spicy, but it just brings that natural warmth. So we're just going to go in with a good tablespoon of that, cumin powder, about half a tablespoon. And they can now just start to cook out with the onions. And that Aleppo pepper is what brings that beautiful, vibrant red colour to the butter. The fresh sourdough that we've made using organic flour, actually trying to utilize more organic stuff in my cooking now, just to try to remove any pesticides and any fertilizer or anything, just really focusing on just natural organic process. I'm just going to come back to our butter. So while that bread's toasting, we can now add our butter in here, and what we want to do, we want to take it to like a burnt noisette stage. So a burnt noisette stage is like a brown nutty flavour. And it's when you take the butter to really brown stage. So just a good couple of knobs of butter. And that's just going to start to emulsify those beautiful onions and all of that spice. And you can already smell it, it's just coming through, it's so beautiful. It's just going to start to melt down now. And then while that's going, we can start on our eggs. So that'll take about 2 to 3 minutes just to really come together, and that's the perfect time to do our eggs. So water, vinegar. What I like to do, I just like to do a little bit of a whirlpool, and that just allows the eggs to form a nice little shape. So you can just, a little good tap, and just crack it into the water. And then we'll do another one. I like to do 2 to a portion, and then we'll just let them go for 2 to 3 minutes, and they'll be perfect. So eggs are cooking, sourdough is on the go, and then we've got this beautiful butter that's just coming together now. I mean, you can, if you were here and you could smell it, it just smells amazing. We've just got that beautiful fragrant red butter. I'm just going to leave that ticking over just to get it to that burn walls, that stays that really nutty flavour. That's what we're after. Like I said, it comes together extremely quickly, this dish. It's the perfect thing for like cold winter mornings. It's a good pick-me-up dish. You've got the creamy elements, a little bit of spice just to warm you up. And it's a great little showstopper for breakfast, especially when you've got guests coming over as well. Butter is perfectly ready. I'm just going to pull the eggs off. And then just bring this butter up to a real high boiling point. There you go, it's coming up lovely now. Right, let's get to it. So we've got eggs, and then we've got a beautiful dill yoghurt. It's got the garlic and ginger in there. Now we're going to do, on the base of the plate, we're just going to put a couple of dollops of that. And then what we're going to make is like a little well. So we're just going to smear that around. You can see all those beautiful fragrant herbs. I like to now just add a little touch of the Aleppo pepper just over the top. And then a little touch of some cracked black pepper just to bring a bit of warmth. And then for our eggs, we're just after draining them, remove that water. I'm just going to pop them on there. And the second one on there. We've got our beautiful little butter with our onions, all of our spices. That's come together really nice now. It's gone to that nutty stage. And all I want to do is just generously just dress that over there. All that spice, bit of the garlic and ginger running through there. And then just finish that with a little bit of fresh dill. You can add a little bit of butter on the side, and then we're just going to get our toasted sourdough, which we're just going to serve alongside it. You can add butter. I like to leave it without butter just so I can mop up all of that natural yoghurt, and that's it. Beautiful Turkish eggs with creamy garlic, toasted sourdough, and all in 10 minutes.